All right, let's go live to Kimberly Halkett, who's in Philadelphia for the debate, which starts in just under 4 hours. Kimberly, I don't think at this point, with the two candidates being neck and neck, it can't be understated just how important and how much of a defining moment this debate actually is.
Yeah, there's no question, given the polls, that this is really an opportunity for one of these candidates to break free. And so that is what each is trying to do. We know that they have been working for many days and even weeks now preparing for this 90-minute debate. Now, each of their surrogates have been appearing on American networks. And what they've been saying is that on the part of the Harris campaign, that Kamala Harris is going to try and essentially go Donald Trump into sort of appearing as the sort of rambling, incoherent version of Donald Trump that we have seen at times, and really try to bait him into showing that he is out of touch with the American populace, that he is really a vision of the past, and contrast that with her vision for the future. Now, when it comes to Donald Trump, he is going to try and tie Kamala Harris as vice president to every one of what he believes the American public sees as the unpopularity of the Biden administration and its policies, whether it be the economy and high prices or immigration or even chaos in foreign policy. So these are the strategies, and whether or not they work, well, that will be the big question that we'll be watching for.
You are a little way away from the debate venue. It's pretty closed off, but what's the mood like ahead of the debate?
Yeah, we've had the opportunity to speak to some folks here in Philadelphia, and surprisingly, there are still a lot of undecided voters. And we've had a chance to speak to some of them, and they really represent some of the tens of millions of people that will be watching. We know last time more than 50 million people watched the debate that was between President Trump and former President Trump and President Biden. We expect that there will be even tens of millions more watching this time around. And it will be the independents that these two this time around will really be trying to make their case to. Here's what some of those undecided voters had to say. Take a listen.
Well, I think everybody knows what Donald Trump's about. I think people are going to be tuning in and expecting to hear Vice President Harris actually speak for the first time. I think it's been probably a couple of months. We all know what happened in the last debate. And I really think this is her chance to get her message out.
Trump is Trump, so I like him because he's very outspoken, so we know what to expect from Trump. And it's definitely more or less the wallet part of things. I need lower taxes.
Now, the challenge for the vice president will be to show that she is a part of the Biden administration and respect that, but at the same time distance herself from some of those policies. That's going to be the tricky part for her, and also trying to, as she's shown in the past, has been a challenge to respond to some of the attacks in previous debates. And this is also going to be a challenge for her, given the fact that many times it's not always clear which Donald Trump is going to show up. He is a TV veteran, but he can be unpredictable. And as history has shown, he doesn't play by the rules.
Many expecting a show this evening or later in the evening. Kimberly, thank you so much for that. Kimberly Halkett in Philadelphia. Let's bring in political strategist Joi Chaney. She joins us from Washington, D.C. Thanks very much for your time this evening. I want to continue on from what Kimberly spoke about in terms of policy. For many policies, a key issue, Kamala Harris could be seen as a continuation of the Biden administration, but at the same time, she's also trying to represent a new generation. Would this debate influence those who may still be on the fence? Some of them we've heard from in the last few minutes.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that she's going to be both, right? She's going to focus on the future tonight. But she's also going to take credit for the things that the Biden administration has done, which most Americans will agree with some of his policies. So I think she'll be able to thread the needle She is obviously not Joe Biden. She's not an 80-year-old white man. And so that will be something that will signal the future. And I think that she will echo that in her remarks tonight. We're excited about it.
Joy, looking at some of the rules, we know that mics will be muted while the opposing candidate speaks. Is it likely that Trump will stay on script and demonstrate self-control? For some watching, that could be quite entertaining. Perhaps those in his campaign are concerned that it may come across in a bad way.
So, you never know what Donald Trump will do. But I do think what we saw in the last debate is that he can hold himself together for 90 minutes. I think one of the things he has going for him is low expectations. But I think we should expect that he will somehow find a way to rally professionalism for 90 minutes. He will lie the entire time, as has sort of been his trademark. But he will be able to hold himself together. So I think that's what we can expect. I think that's what they've been practicing to the extent they've been doing so. So I know that that's something that he'll be focused on.
There are a number of key issues that most likely have to be dealt with, depending on how much each candidate wants to focus on policy, ranging from the economy to border control as well as inflation. What are we likely to hear from Trump, for instance? Would he stick to dealing with these key issues, or would we see a combination of that and perhaps personal jibes? And how would that go down?
Yeah, we know that Donald Trump will talk about the economy. And, he will certainly talk about inflation. That is one of the areas in which Republicans actually poll better than Democrats. So I think that he will lean in quite heavily to that. He certainly can't talk about some of the other domestic issues. So he'll talk there. I also think Vice President Harris will talk about that as well, because there's a lot of green shoots in terms of our economy. And she has the voice sort of kitchen table issues and average everyday Americans. And I think that she'll have a better connection with them than, Donald Trump, who himself is very wealthy and doesn't seem to connect on those issues. But certainly he will talk about it.
Would you imagine he might have an edge over Harris in terms of the debate? He's debated both Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton. Does that matter?
No, I mean, she's a litigator. She also ran for president in 2020. So she will be prepared for this debate. She's been practicing. She is a skilled debater, skilled litigator. And sorry, I'm in a little bit of a loud place. So she will be able to meet him in whatever way, shape, or form he brings himself in this debate. Yes, he's done this before. She has to. She's done vice presidential debates. But more importantly, she's prepared for him.
All right, Joi, thanks so much for your insights ahead of that presidential debate in a couple of hours. That was Joi Chaney, a political strategist.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.